Hey everybody, it's Deluxe, it's Saturday, and this is Propaganda. It's been about a year, maybe 13 months since we've tried this out. Historically, Untouchables is all anti-red technology, and you hope to run into red and dominate. If you run into cast downs, we get dominated. But I've finally unlocked a lifelong streaming dream playing with Silver Drake. I only have one of them in the deck. It's probably not the right call. I probably want to go with another Weakstone Subjugation main, but I'm going to try it out. We can adjust as we go along. Thanks for being here nice and early. I'm Art Heiler, Mindstab Throw, and then Chimpskey as always. So I come back and forth on this list all the time. Sometimes I gold with it on Pauper Classic Tuesdays, or I'll like 03 drop. It's one of those lists. And since we've been running so hot lately, I figured I'm going to throw Chance into the fire, and it's okay to crash and burn today. I'm giving myself permission. Anyway, so we've got 20 lands. We've got 5 fetches. Don't have any cycling tricks here. This is just to thin out the deck. 4 plains. Really plays like 9 because of these guys. The rest are all islands to fuel our Preordain Ponder to look for good stuff. We've got counter spells in the form of 2 Dispels, 1 Weakstone Subjugation, one of my favorite cards in the format, 3 Ephemerates. We've got 2 Dawnbringer Clerics, all 4 Journeys, 3 Missionaries, and here we go with the theme. We've got Galina's Knight, protection from red, Outlander, protection from red, and Guardian, protection from pretty much everything and red. What we do with that is we throw this on here. Even Guardian can hold on to the steel. Gives it +1/1 if it's white and lifelink, and then +1/1 if it's blue and can't be blocked. So you end up with a 4/4 life gainer that can't be blocked. But behind these, you usually have enough gas to get there. We've got 4 Mulldrifters with the old typical tricks here. And in our sideboard, we've got 1 more Missionary. We really respect red here because we're not running any blast effects. This is a very budget-friendly list. 2 Revoke Existence. I actually like these better than Dust to Dust at the moment. We just haven't been seeing too much affinity. Mark that because you know who our first opponent's going to be. It's probably going to be like a super good affinity player and list. And we're going to be crying a river. We've got 2 Standard Bearers, 3 Prismatic Strands. The rest of the Subjugations coming in here. Super, super, super tempted. Putting these main, I'd probably lose the Dispel and our Silver Drake 1 spot for to lower the curve even more. I love these 1-turn Stone Rains if they're running artifact lands. It's another reason to maybe not go so hard in the paint with these. This metagame right now, it's better to just remove stuff from the graveyard and the battlefield than it is to put it in the graveyard. 2 Macabre, 2 Relics for our graveyard package. So with that being said, I'm playing left-handed. I had another set of X-rays done on my hand that I stubbed my finger real bad, as y'all know, Grogberg in the house, and found out that I have a little bit of tendon damage to one of the knuckles, so I'm taped up, so I'm playing left-handed today, so it'll be a little bit slower. Yeah, I want to play first. I had to move all my hotkeys around and stuff. We'll keep this hand, nice honest hand here. Lead off with the Preordain and hope for the best. So yeah, I've been out of pickleball for a month. Can't believe it. I'm jonesing. I'm watching it on TV all the time. I'm sitting there in my chair practicing, looking like an idiot, flicking things around here. But yeah, so, before I forget, the last 5 or 6 sets, if you could do a filter and send me at propaganda@gmail.com any very quick, concise, and funny, mostly funny flavor text that you like. I opened up the edit bay the other day and I'm like, oh yeah, I was trying to do the annual Pauper Awards 3rd edition and I can't come up with much more flavor text on my own. I kind of need your all help. So if you can, please help me out there. We're looking for a land here. This is fine. Probably put this on the bottom. If you can choose, we'll say top, you really want to prefer the Galina's Knight over the Vedalken Outlander because one is an artifact and the other is not. So, hey, we see red. I'm happy. This is good times. We've got like a turn 3 good stuff here. See, if this was black, I'd lead off with the Lone Missionary just to get rid of edict stuff, you know, so we'll see. All right. Grogberg winning the Brute tournament. Very nice. Yeah, I saw some of those lists you sent. That was pretty sweet. Thank you for all the hype emojis. All right. We're up against a red list. They're probably like, what the F? Meaning funk. All right, we'll just get this party started. We don't see any black, so we're just going to try to do the thing. This gets us out of the woodwork really fast. I'm going to do this and this. Bloop. Here we go. Got some really good pickleball news I can't share, but it's of the pro level Persuasion. I might be doing a really, really big project with some really big names. That's all I can say. That's on the horizon, as well as maybe working in a local place here in town, a physical brick and mortar place that's just going to be opening up. So I'm really excited about that. So maybe a new career for the bald man here. Who knows? More on that in a few months. Or if you're watching this in a few months, fast forward to the latest video and you'll see what I'm talking about. Ooh, this is pretty cool. Liking this already. Not sure what the bug in my throat's all about. All right, so we'll put out the knight just to have super insurance here. Yeah. Now I probably can find an island here. Not sure if I'm gonna try to play correctly here. I'm gonna ponder, see if we can find an island. Cool. Let's do. Ooh, I could just take that out right now. Oh, that's tempting. I'm not gonna though. I'm gonna do this, this, and this. We'll say no. We'll drop the island, and we'll get up our insurance here so that Zendikar Shrine can't do nothing. We'll just sit back and be protected from their deck. Hiya. Well, we definitely know Grogberg isn't, what do you call, goldfishing us or whatever, sniping, where they know what we're playing and then bringing something by. So this was like a black rat. I'm not sure, excuse me, why my throat's doing that. First of the morning here. What's going on? All right, well, let's take out that. We'll say no enchantment for use up. Hiya. And let's just do this here. Gain a bunch of life. We'll gain 8 life this turn. Huzzah! So if you're up against red, this deck's pretty ridiculous, which is kind of the case here. All right, this looks like it's going to hit us really, really hard. We did see, a lot of artifact lands. So I want to stick those in the mud. We're going to lose the Drake. This is going to be a common theme. This is probably the wrong call. Since I started Propaganda, I've always wanted to play with that list. So I'm going to lose the Dispels, and we're just going to go like this and hope for the best. Yeehaw. Let's say Gruul. Going to this cool place in Van Nuys later today called the Pickleball Exchange, where they have a court and a bunch of paddles, and you just try out everything you want to and stuff. So I'm slowly getting back in. I've got my big MRI re-meeting on Wednesday, so I'll know a lot more this time next week. I hope to be starting to do little gentle drills moving forward. I'm not sure why I kept this. I was just talking too much and hit click, but we'll see. Don't really have any respectable creature, but we did see a lot of enchantment stuff. So I'll lead off with a landscape, go get an island, and pass the turn. Not sure which one of these I'd rather live in. Probably Perilous. I kind of like hiking quite a bit, but that's pretty nice too. I'm a big fan of playing a Roby. I wouldn't want to play it in the Tranquil Landscape. Looks like it would just fall over the cliffs and you'd be dead meat. But here we go. So yeah, I reprogrammed my keyboard. So now instead of tilde being my auto yield turn, now it's minus on my keyboard. So you see a little bit different body language. That's what's up. All right, we'll play this. And in case they're playing Raise, I will just chill out. You never know with Grogberg, right? He's like, Raise! The Shiralian Expedition always makes you wonder. Cleansing Wildfire. All right, we'll do the irritating thing where we do our thing first, and hopefully they forget to click through or something. Or they do click through. Who knows? Started watching a new series. It's an older series. I think it came out in 2017 or something, but called Barry. It's about Hitman. I really like it. It's very, very funny. Digging it quite a bit. All right, we're going to do this and bring out the knight. Got part of our package going online. Dawnbringer standing by. Ephemerate's not going to do too much with a Galina's Knight other than save it from maybe a cast down, but then you're kind of still out, 2 cards to 1. Hey, what's going on here? I think if this doesn't improve much, well, let's go fishing, shall we? Let's look. All right, we don't need either of these. We got them in spades. We'll say bottom, bottom. Give us something good to eat. Let's do this just in case there's some sort of technology with some hasted persuasion creature coming our way. Till then, we'll just do this and go like this. Back in, I think it was 2005, Ziv Mauschwitz, the invasion block constructed. It was Flame Tongue Kavus were everywhere, and he, I think that was the very first coining of the phrase hate bears, meaning bears a 2/2, and hate meaning it's protected from most of the metagame. So pretty cool. I'm liking that new blue instant or flash creature in the new set. There's about 6 that I've picked out. I'm sure 3 of them suffer from new card smell, and I won't go there anymore. But all right, this is kind of becoming an embarrassment of riches here. Let's bring out the landscape. Yeah, we definitely need another white. I'm just going to get it now, just in case. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I'm talking a lot and, you know, might screw up. So whatever. Would be nice to bring out the dude, but we'll just bring out even more hate here and just start smashing for extras. Can't do too much here. Just a very honest swing here. They got, be funny if they had a breath weapon, right? The 1/1 you sack to draw. I'm not sure. I think it's a blue and it has flash. I like anything with flash. I always do that. Yeah, the warp mechanics got me all confused. I was thinking at first that it had haste, but Dreamer Stingo is quick to correct me on that one. All right, there's Weakstone. All right, well, we'll save that for other good times. Play this out. And I guess I'm just going to gain some life here. I'm always susceptible to just, you know, trying to maximize my tempo here. There's a quick little enchantment that sneaks out. We can do something, or we can trip the landscape. We'll see. Probably go for blue there. We only need 2 white here. Got him kind of dead next turn, maybe. We'll see. What is happening to Grogberg's list here? He's got some like Alpha Strike planned. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. I think I'll chill. All right. Well, there's a nice little topic. I should have pitched that landscape, darn it. Little mini punt there. We'll attack. Feels like we're okay. It's nice having an Ephemerate with a Lone Missionary back up here. Even here, you know, a breath weapon style, like anybody would leave that in, but it's only going to grab the missionary here. All right, we'll do that. Let's see what's going on here. The Jellyfish Warrior. Yeah, that one's pretty sweet. Something like Blue Robot or something like that. Very tempted. There's that. A lot of white. What is this happening here? Bargain. 2 damage. Target creature planeswalker. 3 damage. All right. Who's he aiming at? Huh? That guy? Yeah, we'll ephemerate it. Bloop. I guess we'll gain the life. Torch is here to bargle. Bum, bum, bum. I kind of like that it's not a fairy. My blue robot list is always attempting to do more with that, right? Yep. See, that's kind of the weakness of this list. That's why we really want to lean more on the knights. If you want to keep something back, definitely want to go the other route. All right. Well, there goes core. Excuse me again. Well, unless they got, you know, if they had Weather the Storm, they would have done it right then and there. Sure. We'll do, oh, all right. Oh, one of the faster matchups against Grogberg. They usually got our number a lot of times, so we shall do this and this. Go to game 2. Here we go. Well, we know Grogberg is not a cheater. That's about an enchantment red-based list. Probably one of the better things this could run into. Don't worry about it, Grogberg. No, it's nice to win right away and kind of have a bias in my favor. That's what I was saying. There's no way you were cheating there. Yeah, it was like we were pre-boarded main there, so that's just one of those Rochambeaus, right? I had scissors, you had paper, and this is probably going to be when I wish I did have scissors and not paper. Let's say yes to this. All right, we got a ponder, so we'll keep this. Hopefully we're not marooned on lands here. Do have the Silver Drake. Don't like seeing it early. That's why we're only running one. Here we go. Let's hope for some lands. Cool. I like this a lot. We'll do this and this and this. Say no to this, and we're all set. Hopefully we just see a mountain drop, and we can go from that. Oh, I could see it coming together there, Grogberg. Yeah. Like I said, couldn't ask for probably a worse matchup than this hunk of junk, but sometimes the junk gets there. All right, let's bring out the knight. Again, we always favor the knight over the Outlander because of what Grogberg showed us, being able to disenchant it. A lot of colors can do that. Hopefully they're on red. Got a little slow surveil tricks coming along here. Thinking I might just trip that Mulldrifter. Especially with 2. Yeah, I'll do that. Let's attack. Or, you know what? Maybe I just bring out the Outlander. Let's do that. Because next turn I can evoke the Mulldrifter. I might fall into an Ephemerate trick, and then we're off feeling good about ourselves. 21 damage at once. Nice. All right, we see a lightning bolt. We are loving this. Yeah, this is so unlike a stream, right? This is like what happens when I'm not on the air. And then the second I go live, it's usually like swamp, swamp, swamp if I'm playing pro red. This is so nice to see. Oh, it's a slime deck. All right, slime. Yeah, it's like the universe is just freaking out right now. It's like, wait a minute. We're supposed to be having the Nemesis deck show up here. What's going on here? All right. Well, I'm not going to wait around here. Unless he's got a Vines of Astwood here. This should be good times. Coming over for 6, and we gain 4. There's always that digital waiting around, right? They got to read the card. See, double lightning bolt in the yard. This is good times. Let's be over real quick. We got a journey. We got Mulldrifters. Here comes a slime. We don't really care. They can't block. That's one of the stipulations of the steel. Of course, you got to be careful too. With regards to this, we've got. You know what? I think I'm just gonna journey here, even though it's a bit silly. If he's got a Vines, I could throw it on Vedalken Outlander. All right, so we win there. So kind of pre-boarded in these first 2 matchups here. A lot of graveyard, but we can't really do much against that. Again, we're gonna do this. We didn't see. We're gonna bring in Weakstones. There's a 6/6 staring us down or whatever. I'm just gonna tap it down and hope for the best. Our Guardians can serve double duty and just sit back and block 7/7s if it gets to that point. All right, this is why blue rules, because we got Preordain effects. We're going to keep this. We're on the draw, and we can look at the next like 3 cards. So normally this is a scoop, but we'll keep it. If you want to cut another card in this list, you can go to 3 Mulldrifters. It's very valid. Oops. Still trying to get my muscle memory and my brain situated here. All right, well, hey, sometimes we just get there, right? Now we're looking for part of our little combo dudes. So what I was saying before I interrupted myself was Pyroblast and Hydroblast. You got to be careful because they can target Steel of the Godhead, and then you're kind of screwed there. Ooh, I like these, but I'd rather hit land, so I'm going to say bottom, top. And they didn't really see the Outlander, so I'm going to roll the dice here. Hopefully we can drop that Outlander and keep moving. All right, Rumble showing up. Let's see what's going down here. And the Untouchables is the name of this list. And they are very touchable if you're playing swamps. It's like the what? All right, cool, even better. So green, I'm always worried about disenchant effects or, you know, oh, what's that one green instant that does it? There's a green instant. There's a natural something rather. Natural cause, natural state. Gives the person 4 life. A lot of Infect players play it. Naturalize. Yeah, there's a lot of nature going on. Natural Nature. Is that a card? Usually. All right. Bitter Reunion showing up. We've got some haste scenarios happening here. I am going to Dawnbringer that if I draw dead here. I'll just be chilling out. We do have Steel of the Godhead combo. If I've got an option, I'll probably, if I get a land, I'm going to drop the Godhead just because it's just such a slam dunk here. There it is. All right, so we're going to just get things right in here. We'll bring this out. Who knows? Maybe they're sporting swamps there. Destroy the enchantment. Get out of here. I don't want any surprises. Let's go. Fighting for land here a little bit. Oh, Force of Nature. One of the first Inquests that I ever bought. It's an old Magic magazine before the internet. And it had a, what was it? A Force of Nature. I think it was Wild Growth and Elves of the Deep Shadow. And it was like this. It was just to get out Force of Nature as soon as possible. And it was such a cool little list back in the day. Another, Journeys are great, and the Weakstone's great against, Writhing Chrysalis and such. There's a big old 6/6 we're worried about. We'll have to get in the way of that. There's a land. We like that. We're going to do some stuff here. Put the Godhead here. It might not last all that long, but I'm going to gain 4 and attack. There we go. So we can block with, take the damage here, block with Missionary next turn if nothing improves and Ephemerate it. Or if I get like an island, I can just Mulldrifter, Ephemerate it, block, do the thing. It's kind of a neat take on Ooze with Bitter Reunion here, being able to get it out a little bit quicker. Again, you do not want to pick on their graveyard. It works with Exile too, so it's very strange. How does this work again? When this sacrifice it, and creatures you control have haste. That's pretty burly. All right, we'll be doing that next turn. We're getting 4 back, so we're only really taking 2 here. The slimes have trample. Oh, you're right. Thank you for that. You're right. Oh, this kind of blows, huh? 2, 3. I guess I can do that though. We'll rock like this. We'll do this. This is why we love these things. Cast with Evoke. You always want to click on Evoke first for this reason. Because if I didn't have Ephemerate in our hand, we would be drawing it now. So we'll do this to here. Bloop. Drawing a bunch. Hey-oh. There we go. And attack. Got 2 blockers. 2-turn clock versus 3-turn clock. We do have Journey. Can probably ponder up. We're going to be really fighting for blue. I hope I top deck an island here. All right, let's do this. 13 damage, nothing to laugh at. They got another slime. This is going to get gruesome. Neat take. MTGA sucks, says MTGA sucks. There we go. Now that's a 9/9. Going to trip it. Here comes a whole lot of damage. All right. I'm going to be taking 13 and 6 is 19. Jesus. All right. Well, I'll try to do this here. Crunch. Might not be getting out of this. So we've got 6. Can get rid of one of them. 3. Let's see. We'll get this going on here. Double journey, double journey. Okay, we really like seeing this. Oops. All right. Upkeep. Island. How can we stay alive here? We will be gaining that. Let's go under the assumption that they don't have that. Let me ponder. Dawnbringer, Steel. Well, see, that would be 7. No, I don't want to do that. So we're going to get rid of all of these. Kind of looking for... well, that helps a lot. Let's do 2 of these. For this. And we'll do another one for... Actually, hold on a minute here. I played an island, right? Yeah, I played an island. For this. Getting rid of this. And just in case. All right. Attack. Gonna be close, folks. We can just take that. Yeah, truth would be very nice. Boy, I'm glad they don't have haste anymore. Ooh, that's damning, isn't it? 6. All right. So I'll be doing 6. If I top deck another Steel of the Godhead, I can win here. Granted that they don't have a Pyro in their hand there. I'm going to take this. All right, here we go. Let's look for it. Come on. No, let's say bottom. One of the better lists I've seen. That will gain us that. I think we're out of the woods here. We'll get rid of this Trampler. We'll gain some life here. Do this to this. Gaining 4. Beginning 4 here. I'll trip this. All right, cool. I expected these to be a lot longer matchups, but we're doing all right. A lot of W's. We'll see. Playing to our outs. We just got there. Benefit of having like 8 journey effects when you bring in those Weakstones, you know. Ponder and Preordaining like crazy. I like the 2 Ponders and 4 Preordains. Obviously, that's why I brewed it this way. Pretty big fan of that. But again, you know, you can see how this is not a Skyfisher. We have to keep that in mind. This says creature. Has to be a creature. So that's why I'm leaning on these and these. Just kind of a utility bear package with if red doesn't show up. And hey, we've gotten lucky. We faced 2 red decks first 2 rounds, and that's what's supposed to happen, right? It's sad when you don't beat a red deck with this list, but it does happen. That's why we lean on Billy Idol here to get us out of a pinch and keep getting that life there. So, yeah. Want to play first? Yep. Sure do. And our lands have been pretty nice to us. Yeah, I've seen nicer. I guess we'll keep this. Not the greatest hand, but we've got our combo in hand, so a little slow to get there. Maybe we'll landscape for an island, find Preordain naturally, and go from there. We'll see. Play this. Yep. Did not expect that under a half hour we'd be on game 3 already, because this deck can usually get to a game 3 pretty regularly. We'll do the little cheap move here. What do we got? Sacrifice this Wild Cantor. Woo, I like that. All right, let's get an island. Liking this new artwork. That's pretty cool. Don't think I've seen that before. So the wild crying out with nature's fury, bringing forth its primeval might. So remember, check out or send us your best flavor text of the last 5 or 6 releases. We would like to see that. Okay, there's no reason not to do this. Probably looking for lands here. We've already got these in spades. I'm going to say bottom on these. God, I love Preordain. I love cheating in Magic. That's one of my favorite things to do. This is probably a mistake. Get a plane here. They've got land destruction colors, so that was a mini punt there. Unless they're not playing it, and then I feel like a genius. Watch, it pulls out a Stone Rain. Rancor. All right. This is red, so we're fine. Getting very lucky. I feel like I've paid my dues for almost 10 years now streaming, where I'll bring a pro blacklist and all I see is white, right? Or stuff like that. You all been there with me, right, Chimpskey? Dreamer Stango, you guys got my back? All right. Well, we could do that, or I could just develop here. Let's do that. Protection from red. We're hurting for lands here a little bit, but whatever. Set it and forget it. Wiki Bear, or Beer, the religious official synagogue, conducts service. Uh-oh. Well, I guess we're going to have to journey that. I mean, I'll block 2 of it. Might as well, right? This is red. Take 4 instead of the other. Interesting. I love Mulldrifter Cloak. You're going to play an enchantment. Rancor and that are awesome because they just keep coming back. Hey, cool. Well, if I had that, I would do the thing. But right now, I'm just going to set everything correct here. We're just going to do this and get rid of the problem. We are at a half-life here. So, I mean, I could get 4 back, but who knows what other shenanigans they've got planned. Bring this in. They're going to sack it for red. What they should have done there is pitch the Cantor in response, and then I would have had to eat my own knight. I mean, it goes away either way, but if you're a new player or even an intermediate player, don't miss that interaction. If there's only 1 target on the board while it's on the stack, you got to do the thing. The same reason it doesn't work on Flag Bearer is it's not when it's cast, it's when it lands. All right. I was like, if we just top deck a land here, we'll hopefully be out of the woods. A little bit of a graveyard mechanic going on here. Not sure what our opponent's on. Looks like a mono green list. Going to kill the journey, which is no big deal. So glad that happened now. That's going to be a problem because of our Steal of the Godhead, but we'll give it a go. I'm going to slap Rancor on it. Splat. There it is. Got to start gaining some life here. Another Rancor? Fights. Oh, no. Great move. All right. There we go. Bushwhack being used to full effect. Alrighty. Let's see what we can do here. We still have our dudes. Sure, let's just recover here. Force them to top deck. They've got the jump on us. Our mana's fighting us a little bit here, so we'll just chill out. Hopefully we just top deck a land. I'd like to Missionary Outlander in one turn. Ooh, that's a pretty good one, Mindstab. I like it. That's what I mean. I haven't looked at too many of the newer ones here. So, okay, double Rancor coming online. Again, we're going to want Weakstone here. Creatures are a problem. We like to do the thing to them, right? All right, coming at us with two-prong attack. So, we have everything we need but that. Ugh, this is lame. I'm happy to trade here. I'm just going to get our life online. Really wish I had a floating white, but we'll get back up to 17 here. Probably won't block here unless it gets Supernova here. Savage Swipe. A lot of fight mechanics in this list. Savage Swipe going to the yard. Getting back Mulldrifter Cloak. All right, there we go. There's a big old 5/4 coming at us. Okay, take that. All right, finally. Playing this here. Well, let's get our Evoker online here. It's going to be a close one. Got a lot of fight mechanics going down here. Feel like I might want to sit on Ephemerate, but obviously we can't with this little combo here because this will get us out of the woods real quick. Hit OK. Act like we drew Ephemerate naturally. Boom, boom, boom. This way I can Lone Missionary this back. All right, Weakstone, I'd love to see you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Did I play a land? Of course I did. You idiot. All right, let's do this. Chill out. I might block Nest Invader with the Mulldrifter here. Got plenty of land. Tap that down. Again, see, this is going to be so effective if I do this. Cast Weakstone here. All right, I'm going to do this to here. I'll Ephemerate the Lone Missionary, get our life back, and hopefully do the thing. They can sacrifice it in response, you know. But gain some life here before that happens. Gain 4. Now I could Silver Drake here. That'd be pretty funny. We'll play this. We'll try this out first. They don't know the sacrifice effect. I'm not sure why they're not doing that. No. Alrighty. Well, we can do red here. Yeah, let's get our stuff sit down here. We'll drop this guy out. I'm gonna get one of each. I'm just gonna do it now. White, blue. Here we go. When did I get rid of the mask? If he's got another Vandal, that's going to really suck. So he should just sacrifice this token here if he's looking at what he's doing here, but we'll see. Got our life package online with Ephemerate behind it. Really want to draw another land here. Third annual Pauper Award. That's right. Yeah, we're looking for more flavor text. Not quite sure if Lojo's new to Magic or not, but it's interesting. Let's not miss a land drop. Let's see what we're going to find. Alrighty, that's pretty good. I'll say top, top. I'm going to do this, this, and this. We're going to do Godhead here. That way we can sit back with Ephemerate. In case they've got some tricks. I'll be gaining about 8 to 12 life in the next turn and a half. Maybe I'll get us there. Did I play land? Hey, look at that. So we could do that too. I think I'm just going to chill out. Let's go. Oh, that's a good one, Mart Haler. I think that's how I say it. I always mispronounce it. Sorry. Send that one too. if it's really good and short and sweet, then hey, I'm all a fan of it there. So, alrighty. This is a pretty cool little list. This is a big green, I'm going to call it. Big G. All right. Standard bearers coming in. Ooh, might want these two. Again, we're going to lose this. We don't really want many dispels in this style of list here. Weakstones are going to be paramount, especially since our opponent doesn't seem to know the trick. I'm going to bring in all of them. Could probably bring in Prismatic. I just don't want to overboard here. I'll bring out one Outlander, maybe two. Let's go. It's because they've seen we are enchantment and artifacts sort of weak, and they probably have all 4 changelings. So yeah, Dispel usually comes out against kind of creature-based decks. I mean, the occasional fight stuff, we saw Bushwhack, but I think that's a sorcery, as is a Savage Swipe and a few others. So, you know, if you don't play Dispel, then that's when you run into Cast Down game 1 all day long. But yeah, I'm starting to think that Weakstone needs to take the place of, just like we just did, you know, take out the Dispels, take out the Drake, boop. There you go. You open up 3 spots in your sideboard. If I honestly, not to be dishonest, sorry, the brain worm infected me. Not to be dishonest, but if I was playing a tournament with this, I would probably go with this as the main. I love Weakstone, or based in blue anyway. All those come into play tapped artifact lands, you just stone rain them right out of the gates. Pop. Won't be very thrilled by that. Good old Shiraz. All right, we're going to mulligan this. There's no guarantee we're going to hit much. We're going to keep this because of that. We'll keep. Probably get rid of that Guardian here. Sit down, even though that is our only creature. I miss Shiraz. I kind of was hoping he would cool off when he got so mad at Magic for stealing his collection, but forget what the official state of the drama was there. But man, he is gone for good, it seems like. Top. I mail him about once a year now just to see what's going on, and miss the guy. He was there from day one. 9 years and 8 months ago. We're coming up on our 10-year anniversary of streaming. This is crazy. November. Got to come up with some sort of birthday for propaganda theme. I don't know what's going on. Creature. I meant to find that clip of the New Zealand dude in Lord of the Rings talking about creatures. And then the, what is it, Mythbusters one with Ninja. And just put a little music mix together. I'm sure there's other ones, but those two are in the lore, in our lexicon of propaganda goodness. Woo! I think Lojo86 is either on some libation or new to the game. So they're going to watch this later and go, oh, I could have just sacrificed that and probably been in there. Birthday Ganda. All right. Speaking of bathrooms, maybe they're using one now. Pretty good start for this list. Happy with a 50-50 outing with this list. It's just so narrow-minded in its scope, you know what I mean? Come on, let's just top deck a Plains here. Just turn off the gas immediately. It's like some Stompy hybrid, like an efficiency Stompy retake, right? Yargle, thank you for using my emotes, my friend. Woo! Boy, those took a while to make. It's hard to make those look good. All right, Preordain first. First to the worst, second is the best. Just in case we get a fetch land, we want to be able to turn on our planes immediately. Grogberg, all right. Yeah, I made a Uno during the holidays. My brothers and I made a game called Deluxe. Big surprise. And, I kind of like that, but I've got to get our land right. So I'll say bottom. That shows us, huh? But when we're playing the holidays, and we were playing Uno, we'd always get mad. Somebody would walk off, go to the restroom, go get extra, refill on something, and everybody's talking, and you couldn't get the game going. And so Deluxe is like this super version of Uno where punishes people for like hesitating or not knowing it's their turn and stuff. It's brutal. It's like 13 pages of fine print text. I've taught it to about a dozen friends, and they've it's kind of a rite of passage. Man, this is like some old school stompy going on here. Plains, come on. I have paid my dues. Let's go. Again, you don't need white to even play this. You can be all blue. But problem is we don't have a creature. Got rid of our Guardian, which I'm not worried about too much here. We really need a Plains to show up here, or we'll just be running about a 3-turn clock here. I feel like they have a bunch of fight stuff in the, let's see where we're going to go here. Plains. Oh, come on, list. Come on. Done everything right. We've preordained and been very unselfish about it. Sometimes this will happen, though. Maybe all they have is a fight mechanic now. That's why Bushwhacker is pretty cool. You can, or Bushwhack, I should say. You can go fetch a land and then untap the Sentinel, right? All right. We're dead next turn. We got to do something pretty extreme. I think we're headed for our very first loss, but it's because of our land. This is the way of the Magic universe, right? Monocolor versus this. All right, they got us. So that's a case of our deck losing and not being beaten. Big difference. Sometimes your deck just beats you, you know. I don't know why I took this out. This is a really good card here. I like clerics. I think, oh, these are going to be good too. I think I'm going to rock like this. Let's go. Play first? Yes, I do. Okay, we've got stuff. We're good to go. I'm just going to get our mana right. We're going to keep this. Well, so far I'm undefeated playing left-handed. Wonk, wonk, wonk. My Inigo Montoya MTGO style. Just going to do this immediately. Here we go. Sorry for not playing your planes there, Chimpskey. It's not a case of liking one or the other. It's just I have so many templates made with this Therese Nielsen watercolor that I just I blink and I realize, oh yeah, I've got those other ones that I really like too. So I've already seen a fight mechanic show up quite a bit, and since there's not really much else to do, I'm just gonna be like the Life Patrol team here. Might be fun to oh, there's Sohana Ledgewaka. We'll run right into that and see if she wants to block or keep cleaning windows. If you're an old-time fan of propaganda, you'll get that joke. All right, we want to say top on this. I'll say bottom on this. Bring out the dead. Let's attack. Pow. You can always put the Steel of the Godhead on the Guardian, especially if you're up against like black. It's always good times. Mist Meadow Witch. Is that the 3 mana one that has lifelink as long as you've done something? I was just looking at that the other day. Snakeskin Veil. Cool. Oh, yeah, I figured that was coming. Oh, how nice it would be to have Ephemerate there. Oh, well. So you got the... oh, hey, that's... I'll take that any day over what I thought it was. I thought that was going to be... oh, what's the one with the +3/3 counters? Hunger of the Howl Pack? Yeah, I thought that's what was coming. I'm glad they don't have that. Especially with a sacrifice mechanic here. Oh, really like this. I really wish I had a Plains, though. Yeah, we'll just play it. Turn off any shenanigans here. Yeah, I'll attack. A little worried about this Cantor effect here. I don't know what's going down. All right. Just trying to cut down the min here. Really want to find a Plains here. I think I'll just Missionary sit on Ephemerate maybe. Be nice to Ephemerate our standard bearer if it gets fought. Yep, there it is. Pow. Dead meat. A lot of green removal here, so our anti-red technology is not going to go too far. Probably want to lean on Guardian here, a little bit more than normal. And land. Okay, here comes Guardian. Boop, 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 boop. This is cool because if we top deck a land, we can Godhead and Missionary. Just kind of reset the board here. We've got draw, they don't. In theory. Mulldrifter would be nice, especially holding the Ephemerate in hand. I really like Ephemerate at the 3 count. 4, it's always there, but it's also in your opening hand, so it's like you're mulliganing every turn. It's another reason why I might go down to 3 Mulldrifters. Sometimes it just sits there and looks at you for 3 turns. Y'all know the feeling. Mindstab's trying to lead us into his commander metagame, says Chimpskey. Somnomancer. I have played with it. That has happened. All right, let's find some lands. Hey, I don't like that. These all have hexproof. Normally, I love this kind of hand, but we've got hex, 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 2 creatures. Let's throw this all back. I'll say yes to the ability. Give us a land, please. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's just do this. I don't know why I want to keep Ephemerate open, but I do. I'll put this on here. This way we can't really be messed with. This can block though, so be careful. The Wild Cantor can block that. We're gaining 3 life a turn, taking 3, so we've nullified things. Really want another plane before I drop that missionary so I can at least, they've got so much fight mechanics in here. Love Bushwhack. This is a really good card. Tempted to use that in Infect. Probably go like a Simic Infect with that. But for now, we shall see. Hey, we suffered our first loss last game. It's the second Cantor list we've seen, isn't it? No, that was last game. I forgot we've played 2 here. Okay, well, there goes that. Bye-bye, Godhead. Feels like we should be at like single digits, but we've had double missionaries, so we're feeling pretty good about that. All right, 1, 2, 3. We'll do this here. Evoke. Act like we drew it. Maybe we will. Another Ephemerate. Waza. Crunch. Now we can block Silhana. Come on, give me a plains. Nope. All right. Well, I'll get one this way. Sucker. Yeah. Give me a plains. And I'm not too worried about a 1/1 here. We'll attack. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that might take... Go Forth might be better in an Infect Shell. You're right. Yeah, I think I might prefer that. It's not. You're not really worried about getting rid of creatures in Infect, right? Don't know why they played that land. They should have held on to it. Ah, God, I really, really want that. Now our Ephemerate whiffs, so that's kind of a 2-for-1 there. Ooh, this is getting serious quick. Wow. I wish I could bring out Lone Missionary at instant speed. Alas, I can't. They have no cards in hand. We cannot rebound. Always yield. We can do nothing. Nope. All right. Doing the thing. Do this. Bring out this. 2, 3. I'm going to do this here. 1, 2, 3. We'll attack. Sit back on Ephemerate. Hope for the best. Yeah, Slaughterhorn, I always thought that was going to see more play. Boy, it just disappeared. So Guardian can be blocked here, and I don't gain any life. So we're not at 19, or we're not going to gain 3 if they know what they're doing. We're going to... they're at 0 cards, so that's good times. We'll block here. Nullify the damage. Everybody knows what's coming here. Bloop. Here we go. Nullify that. Hopefully they don't know the spawn sack trick. They don't seem too fond of sacrificing things. Maybe they are playing Hunger the Howlpack. We shall see. Do this to here. All of a sudden we're back at 18. Feeling pretty good about ourselves. We'll ponder here. Pulling way out in front. We don't need any of this. Get rid of it all. Yep. Cool. Well, that's pretty cool. Let's do that. And we'll make it unblockable, I guess. Let's do that. Give them 2 choices here. Yeah. No red, no problem. The Untouchables. Talk about untouchable. Look at this haircut. Yikes. Get your tip ready for that, barber. That's a lot of work. It's all lone bedhead. It's like I slept on the rocks last night, and he looks like it. Woo! All right. Oh, good. I was really worried that was a fight mechanic. Taking lots of damage. I don't know why they're not blocking. We can't block, but we're gaining 7 life a turn. We're taking 8. They're in top deck mode. They're just dead if they don't block with the spawn here. Attack. Yep. They have to block, right? They sacrifice. Okay, good. Good for them. I'm starting to think, like, do they even know how to do that? Tempted here. I think it's better to keep this card in question. I'm just going to hold on to the landscape. Everybody knows it's a counterspell. We win unless they got a fight mechanic here. Or actually, we win. Untouchables living up to its name. Look at this. 3-0. Woo! Almost don't want to use the restroom, but I have to. Now we're going to throw into the universe an extra mojo hit, right? Okay. So we'll be back for the last 2 rounds right after we check out our old school bathroom break. One of the first commercial breaks I ever made for when I have to use the restroom. You don't have to just stare at an empty chair. That's what makes me different from other streamers. Be back in a second.
Experiment 1. An experiment was carried out to demonstrate the effects of boiling water upon proteins. A quantity of water is heated over a Bunsen until it reaches its boiling point of 1000 degrees. Now we take our sample of protein. For the purposes of this experiment, we're using an egg. Next, the egg is placed carefully into the beaker. Let's see what happens to the egg after it's been in the boiling water for 1 minute. The scientist removes the egg and examines its interior consistency. From the state of the albumin, we can see that the protein has hardly reacted to the intense heat of the water. Let's try another egg, this time for 2 minutes. Make sure you look out for the release of the new albumin. It's out now. The protein is beginning to react. We try a further egg, this time for 3 minutes. Now let's take a look inside the third egg. The heat of the water has caused the molecular structure of the glutinous protein to coagulate. In other words, not too runny, not too hard, a perfect eggy. Salt is added to taste, and breakfast is served. Le petit déjeuner est prêt. Write that down in your copybook now.
We've harvested the hottest spices in all of Dominaria. We've delved deep into the forgotten caves of Keldor to bring you the hottest sauce of any plane. Introducing Flame Tongue Hot Sauce. Our thermal alchemists have flame slashed and fire blasted only the most Syrian ingredient to bring a flame to your tongue that causes serious damage. Get tongued. Get Flame Tongue Hot Sauce. Deal 4 damage to any meal.
Available at all fine Sinclair superstores.
And we're back. All right. Bladder empty. Caffeine online. Here we go. Hoping to keep winning. Ooh, here we are. Anti-red list. We've seen 1.5 red lists. And some green. So if we come up... I love that. 4 damage to any meal. That's still one of my favorite lines Little Fight's ever read. I remember ruining a keyboard when I first heard that. I downloaded it, unzipped it because we were coast to coast producing at that point. And I played that and I had my headphones on and I spit my coffee all over my keyboard and shorted it out. I had to go to the store and buy a new one. New albumin, yeah. I got that right in some trivia thing the other night, and it's because of this show. I didn't know that that's what that layer in the egg was called until I started doing propaganda. So hey, for all you parents out there that want your kids to learn, set them down in front of me all morning long and we'll get there. All right, well, we've got a ponder already. We've got part of our combo. That's set to green. I say bottom. Let's say bottom. Just feel like, oh boy, a lot of Mulldrifters. Feel like land destruction's heading our way, so that's why I bottomed that. Quadratics. Hell yeah. All right. Hey, it's another Gruul list. Boy, we're lucking out here. Is this alrighty? Well, there's that. Cool. Probably just opt to take this damage. Probably just preordain here and take the damage. We've got double journeys for any big fatties about to show up. Let's pay our dues. All right, bottom here. We'll say top. Yeah. Get our land right. All right. Well. Grueling list. Yep. 2 out of the 3. 2 out of the 4. No. That's this is 3 out of 4 list. So yeah, getting pretty lucky that way. Here comes Spaghetti Man, probably. Nope. Oh boy, that's brutal. All right, this is another Gruul. I'll put LD there. Oop. And unfortunately, yeah. All right. Still getting used to playing Inigo Montoya style. If you're wondering what I mean, I have a tendon injury to my middle finger, and so I've got to tape it, so I'm not very dexterous. All right, let's throw out the... let's not give away our theme in case we scoop, all right? Make them think we're just some Azorius junk list, which isn't inaccurate. Drifters over journeys. Full house. We've been playing so much poker in this household lately. Aaron's been really in a poker mood lately, learning it and stuff, and it runs in our blood. My grandfather and my father were professional poker players before it was a thing. I'm not going to let them know what we're on. We're just going to let them say, hey, good job, nice alpha strike turn there, and you don't get to know anything else about our board. Ha! A lot of stuff coming down and fast. I think Subjugation's going to be better. I know I've been doing this every turn, noticing a theme. Now, I know they don't have artifact lands, but they do have big, fat creatures, and I'm just going to lock them down with that. Why did I get rid of Missionary? Oh, that's right. I have an extra Missionary in the board. I think I'm just going to lean like this. Let's go. Pokerganda for sure. Are we headed for our first loss? We may be. Want to play first? Yes. A lot of lands, a lot of good times. We'll say keeping this. Keep. Love when the land works out. We're supposed to have more islands than plains, mostly because of the Ponder Preordain engine. Yeah, you know, just like Blue Blitz, remember how I was saying you don't really want to be on Dispel because you're waiting to see. This is a proactive list, so I think I might have overthought the... well, you know, if Cast Down was in our first 3 matchups, I'd be really happy, but we are only running 2 Dispels, so I'm really leaning towards making that adjustment. I'm going to blow that up with the Dawnbringer straight away, especially since we don't have our combo in hand here. Hopefully they kept this just because of this, so this is our version of land destruction. Take that, white bordered crap. All right. Oh, I watch Princess Bride probably once a month. Not actively, I just put it on in the background. Very good times. All right, Ephemerate would be nice here. I'll just Dawnbringer that away. Green, interesting. They must have red, so they're not really hurting for mana here. Can't wait. Or they have double enchantments, maybe. Yeah, I think I was right on the other one. Maybe a wild growth after this. Or an arbor elf. Let's see. All right. Yeah, you know, that Princess Bride got a... so this is... Hold on, real quick. I'm going to play the knight. Obviously, we can stop a big old pirate coming our way. But if they blow this up, we still can play 3 blue to just do the thing, you know? Anyway, I forget the merit it was given, but the Princess Bride is one of those movies... I think The Sound of Music, there's like, I think maybe Jaws, like every 20 years, one movie gets, like, I think the original Star Wars, there's some uber, like, they reconstruct it for like the ages, and so it's like perfectly rendered and done up. I forget what the name of it is, but it got inducted into that, so it's like one of those, in other words, if an alien species came and studied our media, it would be one of the things they study. Okay, what I thought would happen, that's why I wanted to squeeze out that knight. Note to self, don't want to trip our lands anytime soon. Our journey's going to be hurting to come online. Right now, I'm just going to draw... Well, I guess we could do that. Do I want to sit on that? I think I'm going to feign... I'll play possum here a little bit. If they want to target one of our islands next turn, that's fine. I think this is the better way. That way, if a big fatty comes out, I can kill it with a journey and have an answer. Squeeze out the knight. Yeah, we have a steady rotation of Willow, Princess Bride, Snatch, and I can't quite remember what else. Wild Growth. We like seeing that. I'll journey it just to do it. Come on over, sucker. All right, we'll drop the... Well, we have to do this. Let's do this to here. They got no recourse. Bloop. Do that. And attack. 3-turn clock. Let's hopefully we can get there. Oh yeah, Avatar: Last Airbender. You're right. Yeah, that's on a lot. Especially season 2 of the original. We really like Bitter Work. A lot of the Zuko themed ones. What turmoil? We always laugh at a lot of those things. I'm proud as ever. Yep, you guys know me well. I have to say, you know, I've got all my childhood friends and blah, 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 but realistically, I only see them like once a year. You know, you talk on the phone every once in a while, but other than online and stuff, you realize like, you guys kind of know me probably better than a lot of my close friends. If you're an avid watcher, you know. One guy's only got so many stories, right? Here we go. Trying to pull even, acting like we got counterspell. They're going to fall for it? Probably not. Rumbling all over the place. If I was a good Magic player, I'd be paying attention to this stuff, but instead, I'd rather be a blabbermouth. All right, so boarding party's headed our way. We'll just drop Outlander and laugh at it next turn. We're probably looking at like a 12-point crush turn, and we're just going to block it all day long. Oh, yeah. That seems way too narcissistic. Make it about me. It should be about Pauper, but I get your point. We'll play this. I'm just going to drop the Outlander here and go like this. That way, if they pick on our planes, we can go landscape it back. Can't be blocked. Hiya. Looks unbeatable, but all you have to do is disenchant this. Even a Pyroblast will do it. And then I'm not so great. Boring party. No. Exciting party. Still probably wants to do it just for the cascade effect. 3 cards entering. 1 card leaves. Only 1 card leaves. I was watching Predator's another movie I like to have on in the background. The original Predator with Schwarzenegger. I love the music, and the timing of that edit as a motion picture is exquisite. There's really trying to not read too much nostalgia into it, but it is I'm not saying it's a great film or anything. It's nostalgic and classic, but there's a mood that strikes with each scene that's just right up there with like the original Psycho or Jaws. I mean, it's very, very well timed movie. You'd have to be in the biz to know what I'm talking about. All right. Strands ain't gonna do nothing here. Let's run it back. Let's do a superstitious shuffle. We'll throw the dude here, and we'll throw a missionary between the two guardians so they can have a little debate about which is more efficient. Yeah, let's go. All right. Are we going to go 4-0, or is this going to be our first loss? We shall see. The candle will tell us the truth. Well, they're going first, so statistically, I think Vegas would probably favor our opponent, even though we have a pretty biased board. Spell Pierce over Dispel. Yeah, I think you're right there, Mind Stab Throw. I'm a victim of the art. I just love the art on this Dispel. Yeah, I said Dispel. Just love that. That's the noise it would make, by the way, too. I'm an absolutist. If I'm going to counter a spell, I want it to be countered. I don't want there to be a little caveat of like, oh, except on Tuesdays with a full moon. No, Dispel always works. But I don't think you want to be in counterspell world here, as we've noted. We're always losing the Silver Drake. So nice to look at. The bygone era. That was my most effective and active draft was Invasion Block Constructed. I know every card inside and out. I just wish it said a permanent. Guy Pearce. One of the only times I wasn't too big of a fan of Memento. I love Christopher Nolan movies, and I gave that one a go the other day, and I didn't dislike it, but a little underwhelmed. He was still finding his footing, though, so whatever. Yeah, animate that sword. I wonder how long that sword is. We're just at over an hour, and the last round is next. Woo! I just saw on Twitter that John Finkel, for you old schoolers out there, just got married, so congrats to him, because I follow Kai Bood, and he had pictures and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay. And I'm bringing that up because one of the first skits we ever did was me with a wig on, acting like Don Winkle, like pimping out our channel. We're going to mulligan this. We're up against land destruction, and one land's not going to do it. Yikes. Doesn't feel like a winning hand, does it? We do have ways to get rid of stuff we're going to keep. This is pretty good. I get rid of Ponder, actually. Done. See, it has a little play on words and wink, wink. But, you know, as the game gets older and stuff, only old people know the reference now, right? All right, red's already online. Bring this out, play. Be grabbing an island for sure. It's most likely to get nixed. We only have 4 basic planes in the list, so. All right. Boy, do I want to spoil that. If they don't drop a land here, I'm going to really consider journeying to nowhere that. That means grabbing a plane right now. I'm going to do it. Change of plans. We'll journey that. They did that for a reason. We'll do this for a reason. Take that, sucker. That's our version of land destruction. Big gamble. Real big. Don't hit a land. Come on. We need a little reprieve here. Damn it. Take that, sucker. That should be my flavor text if I was ever a card. Well, y'all know me. What would be my flavor text if I was immortalized into some sort of cardboard? Say, not to be dishonest. Would that be my quote? It's got to be better ones than that. Well, all right. This is better than land destruction, I guess. Takes their turn. Wah, wah, wah. Creature. Is it a creature feature or a ninja? That'd be my flavor text. Here we go. I wish this worked on basic lands, but it does not. Woo! Kind of like this. This is rough. I want to preordain. Yeah, I thought about turning aside myself. We'll preordain here. Let's find some lands, maybe. Of course, that doesn't make too much sense with this out, does it? I want lands. Even though we've got this, I'd rather put it on the Guardian at this stage because this is an artifact. So I'm going to say bottom, bottom. Give me a land. Okay, cool. Did I play a land yet? All right. I'm going to play it. I'm just going to do that. I'm not too worried about land destruction at this stage. They do it, it kind of takes their turn up. And I'm not talking about the vegetable. No, no. Pow. Pow. It's a close one, folks. Let's see what we're up against. Is it a big old dragon of some sort? Regardless, we could... don't want to do that, no. Subjugation's feeling pretty good. Especially if this is the pirates. Looks to be. There they are. They're only going to hit us once. Pow. Does nothing. Of course, the Arbor Elf is pretty frustrating there. Oh, to Arbor Elf or not to Arbor Elf. Let's see. Technically, I can just sit back and Guardian can take care of that. Let's see what we're going to do here. There's that. All right. Do I just Guardian here? I think I'm just going to Guardian here. I could Subjugate, but I just don't want to get hit with Mana Screw. Like if they start cascading into double land destruction here. Of course, they could go after our landscape. That would be brutal if they got our island and landscape in one turn. Avoid Fate. Mark Taylor, bring that up in the chat, would you? Or one of my moderators, please. Avoid Fate green. Yeah, that kind of... I guess because you can just play Vines of the Vastwood. I guess that would be my argument. Yeah, what Dreamer Stingo said. For one more green, you win the game if in some scenarios. But if you've got 8 spots available, said no deck ever, here we go. The hesitation from our opponent makes it feel like we might have this. And by might, I mean we don't. I got Fire at Will. Going to take out our Guardian of the Guildpact. I haven't seen that card played against me. 3 red or 3... Oh, damn. All right. Well, we really like... How much do we like Weakstone Subjugation here, people? Would you rather kill the creature? Oh, we might as well block. We're still going to take 9. It's much better than the other one, though. How much do we love this spell? Do-da, do-da. Play this card and hope it's well. Scoop up a deep up day. Hi! Pow. Would you rather kill it? Nope. I'd rather nullify everything about it. Take that, sucker. Hey, there I go again, right? All right, let's do this, this, and this. We'll start getting our life back. Boom. Gain 3. Hit for 5. Let's go. Know how many streams I have to play Weakstone before I start seeing it in lists, people. It's a damn good card. To be untruthless with you. Always keep an extra land in hand to keep the opponent honest. The nearly deceitful. I like it. See, if I killed it, then they'd have a big old green trampler and we'd still be dead. Instead, I just imprison it. Make it feel weak. They're like, damn, that's a good card. Why have I not seen it before? There's that. Okay. Well, a Writhing Chrysalis can block that all day long. So this isn't good news. But we do have a Mulldrifter here. Problem is they've got quite a few more spells to play this turn, especially if they turn on that Chrysalis. That's Mulldrifter into maybe like a Journey to Nowhere. Oh, that sucks. That's half our life. We might be headed for our first loss. That was a hell of a top deck. Here we go. And we're going to need one on boarding party too here. All right, let me go get an island. I can't believe we've done this much with one island here. Taking 6. All right. I think, well, do I want to try to do the, let me see what our outs are. We've got Ephemerate. If we draw into the thing, I'm going to have to do the thing. I've got to evoke this. Do this. Hopefully we draw answers. We do not. It's dead. We'll drop here. Well, you know, I just block here. It's not that big of a loss, right? I do gain life if he attacks into it. I drop that and kill that. I'm going to, let's draw some cards instead. Evoke. Draw 2. All right. Well, they got land destruction. We are very ready, but we can't do anything here, so I don't mind that turn. Get our mana right. Flood's good against the land destruction effect. Maybe they took him out, though. We haven't seen any yet. Don't be another damn pirate. Jeez, oh. Only reason we're in this game is Weakstone Subjugation. This would have been over 2 turns ago. I mean, that shuts off multiple cards. Just crunch. Don't think we're going to be surviving this turn. This looks huge. We headed for our first loss. It's about time Gruul has our number. Come on, cascade into another Utopia Sprawl. That'd be hilarious. Deglamour. All right, well, they get still the Godhead, darn it. Another reason you don't want to play the Vedalken Outlander against this list. We'll cut it to 2 just because they can 2-for-1 us. They don't even have to target the Steel of the Godhead. They can just target the creature if it's an artifact. But in that case, it would be. Not out. Not dead yet, but we're getting very close. I think we're headed to our first loss, but let's try to keep a positive mindset. A couple of Ephemerates. Come on, opponent. Let's go. Cryo Shatter. Enchant creature gets -5/0. An enchanted creature becomes tapped. Or dealt damage. Destroy it. Hey, Pangolin Wrangler. It's been a spell. How have you been? What is new? Are we going to get a concession via boredom of time? Nope. All right, there we go. The competitor in me was hoping that they just timed out and we could say that we have not lost yet. But it looks like we're headed for our first loss. What is this new devilry? All right. All right, now they're forcing us to block with Missionary. Well, are they? This feels over. They'd sacrifice this. This goes to 5. Am I missing anything? Let's, I want to block it. Let's just get rid of this thing. I can go to 5. Probably lost anyway, but I'm going to take some of these resources off the board here. Thought they were going to trip that, but oh well. Lots of meeting and grants are rolling in our D&D therapy groups. Huh. Maybe we'll get... Very cool. Pangolin Wrangler, you're showing up to our first loss of the day, it looks like. Oh, so says that for sure. Well, we can gain some life, but we can't do anything with it. All right, we finally lose. So we're 3-1. A lot of Gruul lists here. We go into our last round. I'm going to make a correction here. This is just driving me nuts. I'm going to take these, and these out. We're just going to bring in our this was my hunch from the beginning that I want to go all 4 Weakstone here. Don't do this during a tournament. For now, maybe I'll add 1 more Revoke, 1 more Relic. I don't know. Another Strands. Just for right now. We'll just do that. So we have 15. And we'll go in for our last one. Bloop. Here we are. Watch. Now we'll face cast down and be like, where's my Dispel? But I hold to it. I just don't feel like I want to be... this is I guess the word would be proactive list, where we're trying to, actively do stuff at sorcery speed on our turn, be the problem, and not just have responses, Sometimes that helps, but not really my style. Oh, by the way, for quite a few years now, I've got the standard, camera here, and I've noticed, depending on the light temperature and stuff, or if I move a lot, I'll change colors and stuff. So I tried to modify that, so hopefully it works a little bit better here. I took off the autofocus and stuff. Yeah, I want to play first. Let's go. Okay, well, double island. Could Mulldrifter technically. Let's keep this and see where it goes. Shall we? No, let's mulligan. All right, we'll keep this. Keep this. Got quite a bit of stuff here. I'll get rid of a plains here. Say done. I'll drop a landscape. Go get an island and maybe missionary. Who knows? If this is RDW. That would be pretty funny. Ban pangolins for a healthier metagame. I know how many pangolins are there in Pauper? Like 2? I think there's a really big black one, isn't there? I thought there was. I thought about playing Weatherseed Fairies in the sideboard. That's probably what I should have brought in against the standard, fairies list. It's 1 and 2 blue. Pretty good times. Let's get out a problem, just in case this is walking into a Spell Pierce or something like that, right? We'll wait on the Ponder. Hey, I guessed right. Did I say 3? I thought I did. Let's see what we got here. Lorien Reveal. All right. This is the game where I thought I was going to say the Swampland, be like, take out your Dispel in the very first round. It's like, boom, here we go. I thought there was like a 6/5 pangolin, wasn't there? All right, Azorius versus Azorius. This looks like familiars. I was to guess. Get out of here. Here we are. Well, let me ponder just because I've got the fetch land here. Usually like Preordain first, but all right. Well, that's pretty cool. I've already got those though. Yeah, I'm going to throw this all back. Mulligan. Cool. Let's just get our lands right. Let's attack. 2 and 2. I'll get a plains with that, just so our mana's just set in stone. Here we are, Azorius versus Azorius. What's going on? Oh, it's an oracle. We'll do the thing to hopefully cause some confusion, which never works. Last round of the day. 90 minutes in. It's about right. I tell you what, I've tried a lot of different AIs, and Twitter's Grok is by far the best when it comes to Magic. You just have it like build a list or something. It's pretty awesome. Ooh boy, do I want to do the thing? Should I try to do the other thing? Let's do this. We'll cast a Mulldrifter and be honest about it next turn. All right, so bottom. These aren't that great. I'm going to say bottom. I'm too worried about bounce here. Let me I'll bring this out. Well, just in case they've got counter magic. I'm not quite sure what we're up against here. Say bottom here. Top, in case we get a Guardian of the Guildpact, probably where we're going to want to be. As far as I don't want to walk into a snap. This is kind of a bad strategy, being off color and then relying on an enchantment. So right now we're going to slow roll it. Do the thing. Yeah, don't like our chances against familiars. If it was red familiars, said no one ever. Thornscape, anyone? Or the little Calvu that has never seen play. There's an Ephemerate. I like these odds. Play here. 1, 2, 3. Evoke. I'll take your Ephemerate and raise you. Hiya! Do they got a spell pierce? Nope. Hey, look at that. Our hand is back. Nope. Still don't like our odds. Where's our Guardian? Really need Guardian. Double up on Godhead, maybe. And Nightscape, Sunscape, they've all seen play. A little bit of Thornscape. Not much else. Or the owl, the blue one. What's that, white and black spells? Yep, this is familiars. It's funny, when I went to the hand doctor, they were like, yeah, there's no break. I had multiple x-rays and stuff, and they said, but when they took my middle finger, it like went to one side more than the other side, and they're like, yeah, that's how you know it's tendon damage. And I was like, oh, tore a little something there. So had it buddy tape for about the last 4 or 5 days. It's feeling better every day. Like I said, between my ACL, a little bit of my Achilles, and now my finger, it's kind of neat to have 3 injuries at once instead of prolonging my time off the court with pickleball. So, future betting predictions from Pauper's Future. Love that video. Thank you so much, Penguin Wrangler. That took so long to do. It's about the only reason I don't do them all that much anymore, but I'll try to make another one in the near future. It's fun. There's just no rules to that, right? You just make up a fun mechanic and poke fun at wizards and go from there. So, all right, here we go. Let's call this one. We're going to concede before they see much more of our list here. Might seem premature to y'all, but anybody that's good at familiars, and that's already set up there. Okay, we're going to bring in standard bearers for sure. We probably like Macabre here, just 2 though. I'm going to lose all of our artifact dudes. We'll keep the other bears in just because. Not quite sure if Weakstone's where we want to be. This is one game where, what did we do? We lost Dispel, and now this is immediately right when we need it. But we've got removal in the graveyard here and here with Ephemerate, so it feels pretty good. Let me bring out 2 of these, bring in 2 relics. We can always trip these, go from there. All right, we'll bring in all the relics. We can always trip it. Let's try this. We're probably losing here. Probably going to go 3-2 on the day, which is very good for this list. Yep. I just saved about a half hour of longing there. I'm going to keep this. We got a Ponder and a Preordain. We're a bit flooded, but that's fine. Keep pick and choose our ways out of this. I love having 1 day stubble, because when you have an itch, you just rub it on your chin, and it's like the perfect sandpaper. Perfect scratch. All right. Something women will never know. Here we go. Preordaining our way into the future. Uh-oh. Boy, I'm glad I saw that. Bottom. Get rid of that crap. All right. We got an early target for Sunscape Familiar, if that is indeed what happens. Ooh. Oh, that looks like a party, except for the polluted oil slick. I like low-hanging moons like that. The Untouchables, which have been being touched the last few turns. Yuck, yuck. That's Ponder. All right, we really like all of this. No. And I want to draw that stuff, so we'll just do this. Next turn, I'll landscape trip and rip. Little reminder, in about 2 weeks, we're going to have one missed show. Going to be going up to a party up north. Speaking of seeing friends once a year, that's about when it's going to happen. That and Halloween. It's about twice a year. All right. You know that Weakstone Subjugation isn't going to be that great here. Yeah, we're way too slow here, it feels like. Don't want to trip this. Want to get our Steel of the Godhead here. Try to get this online. Yeah, darn it. And then there's this scenario, right, where we got to probably try to journey that. Otherwise, they're going to probably start going off next turn. I think I might chance it, though, just to get out our Guardian. We don't want to trip this yet, because I think Godhead's coming up, if I remember right. Yep, there it is. All right. 1, 2, 3. Get this out while we can. We've got a ways to go. Oh, mind stuff. We're going to be missing each other. And you never know with all these pseudo jobs in my periphery, especially if the brick and mortar one of pickleball works out here. I might have to change my dates of streaming. I don't know. I'll be a working man again, hopefully. And if they need me Saturday mornings, I'm going to have to obviously oblige. So maybe I'll go rogue for like a year or two, and I'll just stream randomly, right? Catch everybody off guard. Watch my viewership plummet. Well, at least we've got damage coming through. Let's see if we can get there. Kind of liking this. Let's see if we can get there with the Godhead here. We'll put it on there. At least we don't have to worry about snap, right? It's a 7-turn clock, if we can do it. Are they playing curfew? Let's hope not. Negate. All right. I see no reason to not do this now. We'll grab Island. Attack. Lands right. Yeah, probably Journey, just in case they have a Spell Pierce on the Sunscape. And if that goes through, then I'll Dawnbringer and probably get rid of a Negate in the sideboard. I mean in the graveyard. Here we go. Preordain showing up. I am crestfallen because my favorite pickleball paddle of all time, it's the Yola Solaire Swift, and I can't find it anywhere. eBay, of course, but it's like more than brand new paddles right now. I just love that paddle so much. I was naive to think they would just keep printing it. They have stopped, and I am sad. I have about 6 of them. Various states of wear. It's a very, very robust paddle, but I got super lucky, and I chose it on a whim when I was first starting, and it ended up being like my favorite paddle of all time, and I just, so sad that they stopped making it. All right, no Ephemerate for our opponents here. So now when I talk pickleball, y'all Magic people know what it's like when a normal English-speaking person turns in to the show, like my mom. Hi, Mom. We're speaking in English, but you don't really know what we're talking about. So there, a little juxtaposition there. That thing. Okay, not too bad. Let's do this. Do this. Let's journey. Might be getting a snap, but yeah, Weakstone's a really bad call here. This build. Let me do this. Lorien Reveal might be the better call here because they have Prohibit and Negate. Let's get rid of Revealed from the yard. I'm just going to do this to do it. Nah. We'll make them think we've got something. We're holding Dispel, remember? They were watching the stream earlier. Haha. Only reason I didn't go after counterspells is they got double targets now. So save that for a tricky little creature called the Faerie Macabre. Plus, I can start ephemerating our Dawnbringer left and right and hopefully get there. You know, let's not have delusions here, folks. We've probably lost. Familiars is untapping. They're in the teens still. We're really only representing an 8-turn clock here. There goes that. You know, I mean, come on. We might Weakstone that just to prevent damage, right? Prohibit in the main, you mean for our opponent, or do you mean for us as a change-up? Did consider like just raw counter spells, so we are blue-based leaning. Our lands are kind of trespassing on that logic, but for the most part, we have islands over plains usually. Feels pretty good with double Ephemerate in our hand, though. Yeah, for the opponent, I agree. Yeah, Prohibit's a hell of a spell. I remember playing that in Invasion Block Constructor when it first came out, and people would always reread it, and they're like, wow, that's really good. Like, a lot of people started playing Gainsay back then in the sideboard, but Prohibit and Mystic Snake were my jam. Snap. Cool. Yeah, you don't want to be snapping a Dawnbringer. All right. Feel like this is gone. If these were artifact lands, I'd feel pretty healthy right now as far as being able to subjugate it, but this is if I was going to say like decks this is weak against, this is probably in the top 3. It's your, you know, Azorius matchup, but a lot stronger list. Let's not be dishonest. I cast Mulldrifter about 22% of the time hard. It's fun when you have 4 though, and you just float that plains out there and hope it gets there, right? Yeah, I think we're headed to a 3-2'sville here, people. All right, Missionary showing up. That's pretty cool. Think I'll save Ephemerate for that. Let's bring out this dude. Get our lands up. They're going to start gaining all kinds of life, which is going to suck. I feel like I should just call it here and let them have the victory. I can only hope for like some sort of ghostly flicker trick, and we've got double Ephemerate here. Maybe that'll be a thing. Who knows? Okay, down it goes. Mulldrifter showing up. Well, we're up 30 seconds on time. That's about the only thing going for us this game. All right. I like this because we at least can interact with their graveyard, right? Now we'll see what they target. Ephemerate. Yeah, we'll target our own dude here. Bloop. It's nice to have double backup. They got a snap. Negate. Okay. We'll Ephemerate it again. It's a neat trick because they at least get back counter magic if they don't have an answer for this. They probably do. They've just tripped a Mulldrifter like twice, so. Yeah. We lose. Wah, wah, wah. We're going to keep it nice and simple here. Opponent's got it. If they were like at maybe 9 life, I might have fought through that, but we had the trick, they had the trick for the trick for the trick, and we go like that. So we changed the list up at the beginning of the show, and the link you'll see below to download it. There'll be 3 dispels. If you're up against cast downs and things like that, or that last list, it might have a slight 5% advantage over this one. However, I really feel like this is the way you want to be building this list. With all these 1-drops, you can get really crowded at 2. I used to run Skyfisher and stuff. We already saw Silver Drake. I like the land count at 20, and we did have 20-20-20 when we had the original build with the Silver Drake, but there's just so many coming to play tap things, and as we saw, there's huge creatures in this format, and Weakstone just locks them out. So it's like playing a 5, 6, 7, and 8 Journey to Nowhere. I really like seeing it and just being on the play as far as that goes. So anyway, what did we learn? Well, I guess we'll do the thing, right? Here it is, I think. think that worked. I don't have my presets up here. All right, so what do we learn? Well, I want to be active. That's why we switched out and went with subjugation. I knew I was going to do this. I just wanted to show you all silver Drake, get the juices flowing as far as metagame love going there. What did we learn? We didn't see fairies, but I want to show you, I think it's under this. I don't have it preset here. Let me see if I can set, there it is. So I would play this over this and probably, I'm not quite sure where I'd want to sit here. Maybe just 2 revokes and maybe even bring in a second one here. This is where I'm going to leave it. I really like Weatherseed Fairies. Let me bring this up for the people that are kind of new to Magic, or, you know, maybe you're not so old school. Oh, never mind. This has protection from wet. I did not mean that one. I meant the one 2 blue that says 1 damage. What is that one? 1 damage. I'm glad I caught that error. We don't need more protection from red, right? We need it to be in blue here. Hold on. Let me do this here. Show you all what's going down. We'll say Pauper. We'll bring this over here. We'll say blue. 1 damage. There's not too many things that do that. So where are you? And it's a double blue effect. So we'll go like this. And there it is. Thornwind Fairies. That's the one I meant to put 2 of. Just so we have some tricks against your typical fairies list here. We'll bring that there. We're already based in blue. So this does 1 damage. It's a little flying Tim effect. I kind of dig them. Probably not needed. We'll see. It's another outlet as far as evasion goes and such like that. But we didn't see fairies, but technically that can kind of, you know, between bounce and stuff, and it's already on one of your hate colors. We don't like seeing blue because it 2-for-1s us with the bounce, but that's why we're also running Guardian of the Guildpact. So we're a little bit safe there and can smash ninjas and stuff. I've considered a vigilance package as far as what is it called? The Sentinel's Eyes and stuff, but you're teetering on like, well, why not just go into like a heroic sort of package and that sort of thing. So anyway, yeah, and for elves and just your random stuff, maybe they got a standard bear package. You've got an answer there. You could always go Tim as well, but I'd rather just have the flyer there. And, sometimes 3 is really good against fairies because they lock you out at 1 or 2 with the spell stutter trick, and sometimes going slower is a nice way around it. That being said, second you do that, they seem to get there the other way. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to go out with a little video here. Please pay attention to this because the new Avatar set is coming out in a few months, and please just take a second and do what this video suggests. Till then, I'll see you next week. This is the Untouchables. This is deluxeicoff. Thank you to Mindstep, Chimpskey, and Dreamer Stingo. Always there, and we'll see you next week, everybody. Adios.